नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, आदाब। आप सबको आईसीएसआई और आईसीएसआई की पूरी टीम की तरफ से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आज के दिन की, आज के शाम की। एंड वेलकम वंस अगेन टू येट अनदर इंस्पायरिंग, rejuvenating, refreshing webinar on water management and water related issues. जल संरक्षण। जल ही जीवन है, जल है तो कल है। एक उपयोगी संसाधन है मानव जीवन को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए। जल हमारा दोस्त है, जल हमारा जीवन है। ऐसे बहुत सारे कह लीजिए सेंटेंसेस, वाक्य, शब्द हमने जल के बारे में सुने हुए हैं और हम सब जानते हैं जल की उपयोगिता। और उसी उपयोगिता को मद्देनजर रखते हुए टू ब्रिंग फॉरवर्ड द वैल्यू ऑफ वाटर एंड वाटर, एवरी ड्रॉप ऑफ वाटर एंड वाटर रिलेटेड इश्यूज, हम हर हफ्ते आप सबके सामने आते हैं एक नए मुद्दे को लेकर, एक नए विषय को लेकर आप सबको प्रस्तुत करने। इस अमूल्य जो हमारे को संसाधन कह लीजिए, रिसोर्सेज जिसे हम कहते हैं ना, आप सब जानते हैं नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज में एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट तौर पे वाटर माना जाता है। और इसी को लेकर हम एक बार फिर से 10 अप्रैल की इस शाम को आप सबके सामने प्रस्तुत हुए हैं। और आज का जो टॉपिक है that is again very close to nature and water, success stories of lake rejuvenation at Bengaluru. And to present this, we have our distinguished guest speaker today with us, Mr. Anand. He is a lake conservationist, and to discuss in detail with him, we have our chief advisor, we have our chairman for water management, our session chair, Mr. Anil Manochaji, who is going to introduce Mr. Anand and further take over the proceedings. Before we start, I just want to tell you, and I just want to say to you with few of my slides that what we are going to do in the later part of today and throughout the week. So I want to tell everyone our programs and our detailed particular things that we are doing throughout the week. So let's begin. I'm sorry, a beginning should be with a clear slide. So this is one thing. I think I should go with the first one. Just give me a moment. So here we are, ICSI. As you all know, and the people, those who have joined us today, we want to tell you that ICSI is a link between 31 million overseas Indian, and together we are working towards making education relevant from Monday to Sunday. And people, they're out. I want to tell all of you that today is World Homeopathy Day. तो हम वाटर की तो बात कर ही रहे हैं, वो भी जल जीवन को सुरक्षित करने का एक अभिन्न अंग है, एक बहुमूल्य निधि है हमारी। उसी तरह से होम्योपैथी डे जो हमारा स्वास्थ्य दिवस का एक विशिष्ट अंग है, तो आज वर्ल्ड होम्योपैथी डे पे पूरे आईसीएसआई टीम की तरफ से आप सबको हैप्पी वर्ल्ड होम्योपैथी डे। ये पूरा कैनवस है हमारे प्रोग्राम्स का, जिसमें वी आर फोकसिंग मोर ऑन टीचर्स एंड यूथ एम्पावरमेंट एंड वुमेन एंड चाइल्ड एम्पावरमेंट। आज सुबह भी हमने एक प्रोग्राम किया सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पे, जिसमें हमने बताया कि सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है और किस तरीके से हेल्प कर सकता है वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट को। जिन लोगों ने हमें उस समय लाइव देखा, वेरी मच थैंक यू वेरी मच टू ऑल ऑफ यू। और जिन्होंने नहीं देख पाए, वो हमारे जीएस मोटिवेटर चैनल पे जाकर उसे कभी भी देख सकते हैं। दैट वाज अ वेरी इंस्पायरिंग सेशन बाय आरती मैम। एंड इसी तरह से हम एड्यू स्किल वाणी आप सबके लिए लेके आते हैं मंडे टू फ्राइडे 8 बजे, आप उसे सुन सकते हैं। और various different aspects of ICSI which we have touched and we want to touch, हम उसमें बात करते हैं। So you can get details about education skills in MSME and likewise, जैसे मैं कहती हूँ कि एक वीकेंड डेस्टिनेशन होता है, तो वीकेंड डेस्टिनेशंस की तरह हमने अपने वीकेंड प्रोजेक्ट्स, अपने वीकेंड वेबिनार्स इंटरेस्टिंग आप सबके लिए बनाए हुए हैं, जो आप सैटरडेज और संडेज को हमारे साथ देख सकते हैं। अभी हम आपके सामने वाटर मैनेजमेंट वेबिनार के साथ हैं। इसके बाद आप हमारे को आयुर्वेदा फॉर वेलनेस में देख सकेंगे, और उसके बाद फाइनेंस एंड इंश्योरेंस, दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली फॉर यूथ एंड द एजुकेटर्स एंड एवरीबडी दोज हु वांट टू वॉच। संडे हमारा शुरू होता है एक बहुत ही पायस फीलिंग्स के साथ और पायस विचारों के साथ और पायस डायरेक्शंस के साथ, विद्या से आध्यात्मिक विद्या की ओर, जिसमें हमारे साथ जुड़ते हैं यूएसए से डॉक्टर प्रोफेसर सत्येंद्र धीमान जी। उसके बाद सिनेमैटिक टूरिज्म पे विशेष प्रसारण हम आपके लिए लेके आते हैं, जिसमें श्री मनमोहन सिंह जी हमारे साथ दिल दिया गल्ला करते हैं, जो कि जाने माने पंजाबी सिनेमा के सिनेमाटोग्राफर, प्रोड्यूसर, डायरेक्टर, राइटर रहे हैं, और बॉलीवुड के साथ भी इनका बहुत ही अहम नाता रहा है, सिनेमाटोग्राफर, राइटर, प्रोड्यूसर, डायरेक्टर के तौर पे। इसके बाद हम चलते हैं संडे को नॉर्थ ईस्ट की तरफ, और 3 बजे आप सबके लिए लेके आते हैं स्पेशली नॉर्थ ईस्ट से सीरीज फॉर एजुकेशन एंड वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट। एंड उसके बाद स्पेशल सीरीज होती है एमएसएमई पे, जो कि स्पेशली एंटरप्रेन्योर और यूथ डेवलपमेंट पे है। और रात को 8 बजे आप सबके लिए अलग अलग देश के भागों से जो एनआरआईज हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, वो आपके सामने आते हैं हमारे वेबिनार्स के जरिए, और एजुकेशन, एम्पावरमेंट, वोकेशनल स्किल्स से रिलेटेड अपने जो उनके विचार हैं, जो उनकी प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, वो शेयर करते हैं। सो ये कैनवस आप सबको दिखाने का मेरा एक ही पर्पस है कि इसमें टाइम टू टाइम आप चेंजेस देखते हैं, और हम चेंजेस लाते भी हैं और हम लाना चाहते हैं। तो मैं आपसे एक ही रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी, आपकी स्क्रीन पे जो अभी ये स्क्रीन दिख रही है, यहाँ पे आपको एक नंबर फ्लैश किया जा रहा है, यहाँ पे आपको हमारी वेबसाइट का एड्रेस दिया जा रहा है, प्लस यहाँ पे आप सबके लिए एक ईमेल है gsmotivator@icsi.asia। आप सब अपने सुझाव, अपने वैल्यूएबल सजेशंस और अपने व्यूज हमारे साथ शेयर कीजिए, और हमें बताइए कि आप और क्या क्या फ्लेवर्स और क्या क्या डिफरेंट प्रोग्राम्स हमारे इस वेबिनार सीरीज, जो कि ब्रॉड अम्ब्रेला है मेकिंग एजुकेशन रेलिवेंट के अंडर, ये सारे प्रोग्राम्स, तो उसमें आप और क्या देखना चाहते हैं और कैसे इसको हम इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं। डू राइट टू अस at gsmotivator@icsi.asia। आगे बढ़ने से पहले मैं आपको ये बताना बिल्कुल नहीं भूलूंगी कि इस प्रोग्राम के बाद आप और क्या हमारे साथ देख सकते हैं। आज 6:30 बजे आप सब जरूर जुड़िए, हमारी जो सीरीज है आयुर्वेदा फॉर ग्लोबल वेलनेस पे। आज डॉक्टर परमेश्वर अरोड़ा जी आप सबको बताएंगे हाउ टू टैकल कोरोना वाइसली। सो ये टॉपिक होगा आज की ये टॉक का। और उसके बाद हमारे साथ श्री राजीव रायजादा जी जुड़ेंगे, और वो बैंकिंग, फाइनेंस एंड इंश्योरेंस पे आप सबके साथ बात करेंगे, और आज इस प्रोग्राम की 5वीं कड़ी है। और इसी के साथ whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe can achieve। आप देख सकते हैं whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe can achieve। हमारे 821 वेबिनार्स कंप्लीट हो गए हैं आज इस वेबिनार के साथ, मतलब कंप्लीट होने जा रहे हैं, ये वेबिनार अभी शुरू हुआ है। सोचा नहीं था कि इस तरह से ये पूरे लॉकडाउन के समय में भी हम अपने आप को इस तरह से बिजी रख सकते हैं। तो कहने का मेरा मतलब ये है कि इंसान चाहे तो क्या नहीं हो सकता, बस उसको एक सोच चाहिए, सही सोच और सही दिशा चाहिए, और उसमें वो जील, वो एनर्जी होनी चाहिए जिसके थ्रू वो अपनी जो सोचा हुआ मकसद है उसको पूरा कर सके। और इसी आदर्शों के साथ, इन्हीं विचारों के साथ आज हमारे सामने जो हमारे गेस्ट हैं मिस्टर आनंद जी, आई थिंक ही इज ऑल्सो द परफेक्ट एग्जाम्पल ऑफ वट एवर आई एम सेइंग। आई रिक्वेस्ट मिस्टर अनिल मनोचा सर, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई स्टॉप माई slide sharing and I request our chief advisor sir, Mr. Anil Manocha sir, to please introduce our guest and start the program. Thank you sir, and I welcome both of you.
Okay. Namaskar, good day everybody. Welcome to 26th webinar on water series. A lot of you have connected with us since 23rd October when we humbly started discussing about water issues. From 23rd October, the time flies, and today we are sitting on 10th April and we are hosting a 26th webinar bringing our 27th speaker today, who will be talking to us on what he does in Bengaluru city, a city of lakes. Uh, a brief snapshot of what we have done so far since 23rd October will be useful at this point of time for all of you to know what has been discussed and what we intend to discuss. We have clubbed various water issues here under subtitles, and then we have given the webinar series number for all our participants and audiences in case they want to get into more details on a specific topic. They can just get to our GST Motivator website and look for this uh, webinar serial number. Like today, we are having 820 something webinar, and similarly, we have been doing it since 23rd October. So uh, we discussed various water issues as one of the topics uh, which were related to global water issues within ASEAN, and water issues locally within India. And when we talk about locally within India, we talked issues within Punjab, we talked issues within Bangalore, Karnataka, other parts of the world. And one thing which came very common was that tackling these water issues is a very complex problem. It's a problem which involves a lot of social aspects, a lot of economic aspects, political aspects, cultural aspects, educational aspects, technical aspects, and it is very difficult to find out a real culprit in case something goes wrong in addressing an issue. So we address a very complicated problem when we try to address a water issues. Say, for example, when we talked about the water issues in ASEAN, and when we talked about the Mekong River Delta, which flows into 10 countries in ASEAN, like Cambodia, like Vietnam, Thailand, and how the economy of those countries thrives on these water issues, we understood that anything which is done in upstreams drastically affects the downstream, which is receiving the Mekong river water delta. And we also understood that this Mekong River water delta originates from Tibetan Plateau, which is in China. And anything which happens in upstreams affects the total economy, total vegetation, total life of people which are connected with river. Uh, uh, all these things in details are available in this series. Then after discussing ASEAN, we took a case story about Singapore, how Singapore came out from water-starved nation. Even today, when Singapore, we are talking about Singapore, we still are knowing that Singapore still imports more than 60% of their water requirement from a neighboring country, and only 38% water, 40% water is produced locally by recycle mode. And when Singapore got independence about 40, 50 years ago, they were 100% dependent on the neighboring country for supplying water. And today, Singapore is setting a world example in water related innovations. We also discussed about the Cape Town water crisis and how this crisis was overcome, how the aspect of education, how the aspect of awareness, how the aspect of letting the people know about the problem played a very positive impact when people start looking at the water issues. And Cape Town overcome that water issues luckily, and they didn't have to get into a zero water situation. We also discussed about the water crisis in Punjab. Punjab has been talked every now and then with related to water crisis, with related to agriculture, with related to water related disease, with related to cancer capital of India and all those things. So we have been discussing all these issues in various forums so far. And we also talked on 22nd March on World Water Day, the uh, uh, theme of World Water Day, like valuing water. After water issues, we also talked about water education and careers. I must tell the audiences that we have clubbed these headings, but these seminars occurred at different times and different intervals. Just for the benefit of our audiences, we are clubbing them in the broad headings. So we also touched upon water sector as a professional choice, and we talked about what type of landscape is changing in the education sector and what we need to do to integrate various technologies when we talk water as a sector. Then we talked about water demand. We covered speakers. Various speakers came from global, I should say, platform, professors, doctors, the people who are practicing water professionals, and they talked about various issues related to water demand. And when we talked about water demand, we knew that water is used for domestic application, whether it is rural or urban, industrial and agriculture, recreational travel, and agriculture sector consumes more than 60% of water. In India, the figure is more than 80%. We talked about water stress situation in India. We talked about water, food, energy security, what needs to be done. We talked about how we can avoid the food wastage. We talked about community water solutions. We talked about certain technologies which people are widely using. Like we took a typical example of reverse osmosis technology, whether this technology is really a cure or is a curse. We debated on that. We talked on urban water management. We talked about home and outdoor water purification system. We talked about plastic pollution under this heading of water demand. And from water demand, when we consume water, we definitely pollute the water. Then we spoke something on pollution. And when we talked about pollution, we talked about natural pollution like disasters, floods, droughts, what it causes to water. We talked about industrial pollution. We talked about agriculture pollution. And while we're doing that, we also realize that though industry hardly uses 3% of fresh water, but if the pollution occurs, they pollute 100% of the water. And similar happens with agriculture sector. If they use excessive fertilizers and if they use excessive pesticides, what it impacts to the common life of people, we have understood. We talked about quality water targets. We talked about groundwater contamination. We talked about wastewater treatment in industry. After we spoke about water contamination, we also spoke about water conservation. In water conservation, we went from Vedas to technology. We talk about five elements for our lively life, and we talk about technological interface. We talk about valuing water. We talk about relating water. We discuss the aspects of circular economy of water, national waterways, and then we focused on the water sources. As we always say that India is becoming, the water sources becomes clear day by day, but it's also important to know what are these water sources. We talked about seawater as a resource. We talked about surface water as a resource, groundwater, aquifers, rainwater, and all those things we talked. And we also talked about the emerging resources. We touched upon how do we manage the resources, what's the importance of ecology in regenerating these resources, what is done for restoration of natural uh, hydrological balance, what is the need, how do we uh, use rainwater and grey water for recharging the underground aquifers, how do we regenerate the river aquarium system. We also touched upon last mile for water, where if we do not use our systems together, the ultimately last people don't get benefit. Then also we touched about recover economy. So this is a just canvas of various presentation and talks we had so far. And then our global knowledge sharing panelists have been from various parts of the world. They were from UK, they were from Malaysia, they were from USA, they were from, if you see, Singapore, South Africa, India, and a lot of people contributed from various levels to this webinar series. We also had a lot of people from Karnataka, and I'm sure Anand will know a few of them. Dr. Lingaraju Yele,
Yeah.
Ms. Kalpana Ramesh, Dr.
Mm.
Mr. Ayappa Masagi. These people have come and given their knowledge to all the participants here.
Yeah.
And also we had some professors, lecturers who talked about their technologies, and we had some industrial professionals, practicing professionals in water industry. So this is a brief background of what we have done so far. And all these things are captured on this one particular webinar link, which we have made it very convenient for all our audiences that you can just get to a playlist and you can see all this series. Now, a few thoughts before I hand over to Anand today. We should sensitize ourselves that we don't have water availability as a core issue. We are managing water resources as the most crucial issue. India still gets 35% more rainfall than it needs. If you look at the total water consumption of India, we get 35% excess water through rainfall. But only problem is it comes too fast and it goes too fast. And we cannot capture more than 35% of that, and 65% goes to sea. So that probably makes us dry and feels dry all the time. We also need to understand the ecological disturbances like the temperature, climate change, monsoon patterns, precipitation, lowering of groundwater table, and how a human intervention has resulted these problems. We must sensitize ourselves. We also must understand how we can integrate the technology with Vedic sciences. See, we need to understand, we live with the basic five elements, Panch Tattvas, which we have learned from Vedas, Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu, Akash, and how do we relate with our latest technologies of artificial intelligence or water technologies. And if we do that properly, we can definitely work towards an integrated water resource management, which will look into the aspect of managing floods as well as managing droughts. Finally, we all must know that water is a renewable resource. We use water, but we don't consume water. Water quantity of total water on this planet Earth is constant and it has never changed. So what we do when we come in contact with water is that we convert good water into bad water, and then we say we have water shortage. And then at this moment, let us take a pause and think what water means to you as a user. How do you value water? As a water, as a resource, how do you value water infrastructure? How do you value water services? How do you relate water as an input to social economic activities? And how do you value water as an input to socio-cultural activities? The moment you will think about it, you will realize that you are paying peanuts for the benefit you drive out of this water. And if you realize that, and if you respect water, probably we will overcome a lot of water related issues. And if we look at the sustainability development goal 6, we we have committed as a word that we will provide water and sanitation to all by 2030. And we must be sensitized enough today that about 2.3 billion people, which is more than 30% of people, don't have access to safe water. We also should sensitize ourselves that global water issues require local solutions. We may have any type of issues, but every solution has to be handled looking into local needs and local requirements, and where the people like Anand, who are water warriors, are doing a great job. I will further narrate a small story of Thirsty Crow, which we have been using in our childhood. How a clever crow was able to drink water by putting small stones, small actions he took so that the water level rises. So I will say that all these water warriors are doing the same thing, that they are trying to raise the level of water, and they are like working efficiently and actively to see that we improve the water quality. Today's topic, we are going to talk about success story of lake rejuvenation in Bangalore. As you know, Bangalore used to be called as a city of lakes at one point of time. And it will be surprising to know that we have over 1,000 lakes, which today are less than, I should say, 240, and out of which 80 probably are in a very normal state, and a lot of rejuvenation work is done. Anand is titled as a unsung hero of the city who has done a lot of lake rejuvenation projects. He has probably regenerated more than 13 lakes. He's called Impossible Kannadiga, means a guy who has done impossible works. He promotes the concept of sustainable living by promoting weekend farming, agroforestry, regeneration of soils by organic farming, creation of hydroponics in the drainage channel, and so on. So this is what I little know about Anand, and more will hear from him. when he starts talking. So let me hand over the floor to Anand, and I will say alone we can do little, but together we can do a lot. With this, I would like to hand over the mic stage to Anand. It's for you, Anand, to take over.
Sir, thank you so much. Actually, I think you talked about 20 minutes. Very insightful. Means it is one of the art of narrating so much of content in a short time. I don't think we are even eligible for that.
No, no.
See, we are the guys who work, like field and other thing. Maybe uh, whatever initial in every webinar I used to talk, those all the points you covered in just 20 minutes. It's complete about water. Thank you so much. Big learning for me also, in fact. And also hats off to you that out of 821 webinars, you are talked about only water webinars of 27, and every point you observed and kept in mind, including names, statistics, everything. Hats off, sir. So we need your blessings to do more and more job. I'm very proud of you. Okay, so this is not only just I'm sharing the experience; it is a big learning for me also. Like so much, like how fresh water to grey water, how we convert, and the economy, health, all those things. Similar thought process only. I started this journey. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Anand Malligwad. I am 41-year-old, and I'm from North Karnataka, Koppala district. I'm about 450 kilometer away from Bangalore, and I studied in government school and rural, one of the small village, 450 houses village. And why I started, more, why I got more interest in lakes is because my government school was in a lake bed, and most of the time, instead of schools and classrooms, I spent in a lake. Playing with water, fish, just climbing the trees, playing with cows, cattle, and all. So this is how I had more interest in it. Okay, then I came to Bangalore and I started my corporate life. Like about 16 years, I worked with one of the automotive and aerospace industry as a group head of projects and CSR, and also part of the CSR. And company were doing wonderful jobs. But in fact, so many people from management, they suggested that why don't Anand Malligwad, we take him into CSR committee. So that is how I got into committee. And 2016, I entered into CSR committee. 2016, I made a presentation to management that we were working on 4 platforms: education, health, environment, and community engagement. So out of this, I had a more interest on environment, especially why? Because I was read one newspaper saying that after the Cape Town, as sir rightly said, Anil sir, and by 2025, Bangalore will become second zero water city. And also not only Bangalore, by 2030, about 21 cities of India will going to become a zero water city. I don't think it will happen because nature is there. We are a surplus resources country in the world. I'm telling, where we have snow, we have a desert, we have oceans, everything. Right, this country has got a huge history, like Sanatana Dharma. Even I am the guy who is connected, especially with spirituality. Right, this drive, everything runs by 4 pillars. One is my spirituality. One is I born in village and small tiny area where I know from scratch, from a small layman to till any humans I interacted. And also science, as well as engineering, certain techniques and common sense. These are all the platform only I work. Main is base for this is spirituality actually. So when I 2016 I started thinking about, in the environment, people do plantation drive, they take a photograph and come back after planting, and they never see that whether that is grown or not. That was very uncomfortable with me. See, I, instead of planting more number of trees, I wanted to plant one sapling and see that it will become big tree. That is my dream. Same way, water conservation, a lot of people are doing roof water, they're they're utilizing, and the storm water they're harvesting, wells, borewells, so many things people are doing it. But only thing I seen neglected part, as Anil sir said, from 1,800 lakes in Kempegowda's time, then 800 it came, now 241. Out of 280 lakes are allowed. Out of 80, 21 lakes are not even bathable condition, just they have water. So I thought 73, 75 years of democracy, governments, they rejuvenated a maximum more than 15, 16 lakes. If you calculate further, multiply also, I think maximum by 2030, they can rejuvenate about 50 lakes. So why lakes are neglected? See, today, if you see Bangalore's, most of the prime locations are in lakeland. Like Majestic bus stand, it is in a 1,800 acres of Kempam Dharmambudi Lake, which it used to cater entire Bangalore water crisis. Chinnaswamy Stadium, everything, like National Games villages, they're all built on the lake. But because of, I had a curiosity why they're destroying the lakes. And Bangalore is a lake city, in glory of lakes, why they're destroying? What is the, then I come to know that people are, getting a water from Kaveri, about 180 kilometers by pumping gate stage, about 1.6 billion liters per day they are bringing from there, and they're only catering 33% of the city. Another rest 70 is, still they are depending upon bore wells, these, that, and all sorts. And once pipeline water started coming to home, then they have forgotten about these lakes. Lakes earlier, it was a drinking water source, taking a bath, cows, cattle, everything they were. And also Bangalore, if you see topography, all these lakes are interconnected. They flow each other. And they were the best source for recharging aquifers. So end of the day, what happened? About 96 to till now, I am in Bangalore, last 25 years. When 96, I used to see every home had a well, and 20 to 50 feet, you used to get a good quality of water. But today, we have reached about 700 to 800, some places 1,200 feet. And success rate of borewells earlier were at least 95%. If you drill 100, 95 used to get better. Not even now, 25 to 30%. So many people spend huge money on drilling the borewells, and so much of things happening. Then I thought I should do something for the, like a nature. In nature, I wanted to take a part which most of the people neglected. Why neglected? Lakes are neglected because of pipeline water, and governments are not taking up lakes in a rapid speed because of more money, more time, encroachments, and lot many things. As sir said, so many things involved in this, and they don't want to get into this tension. So they don't want to get into this kind of situation that where they're stuck. Say, for example, most of Bangalore lakes, at least 25% lakes are encroached. Encroached in the sense, like a Lakeview apartment, drainages are closed, and Raj Nallas closed, and they dump whatever they want. Most of the sewages are connected to these lakes. And the lake does not have a value because of you get water in your tap. Otherwise, the lake were a lifeline for people. So this is how I thought of influencing people, not by talking, not by, see, because any celebrities or somebody like film actors and all, people listen to them. When they talk, there will be crores together views, millions together views. When I talk, I don't think 10 people can view. I can reach 10 people. And when I go and talk in public forum, I don't think nobody can come. So then I decided to take up one lake project where this platform I wanted to work, where governments are working 1 year. I wanted to do it in a 50 days. Where government spends 15-20 crores, I wanted to do it in less than a crore. And where governments are creating a huge structures and a lot many unecological way, I wanted to do ecological restoration. And where governments create a lot of refreshment area, I wanted to create forest. I wanted to create a best habitat for the birds and this thing, so that lake can sustain. This is how I started my journey from 2016. I took about 1 year to visit about 180 lakes, visited everywhere, understood the topography and real condition of the lakes and soil, biodiversity, everything. Over a period of time, I realized that yes, we can do it in a less time, less cost, sustainable way, and also we can engage the people by winning their heart. Also, we can clear the encroachment without way of reinforcement, by winning their heart and giving them the best lake and taking back about small 20-30% of the land. This is how that journey started April 20th, 2017. First, I started a project called Kalsnadi Lake. I did not know ABCD about lake, no knowledge, nothing at all. But I spent more time with villagers. I spent more time with cowboys and farmers, and I referred certain books. Then I gathered the knowledge. Then I created a project in a 45 days, less than 1 crore. And as of now, that entire lake, last 5 years, it got fully filled up. As of now, there is no, like a dry lake. So, see, why I am telling spiritually is April 20th I started. I used about 6 earth movers, 4 trucks, and I removed about 460,000 cubic meter of soil from the lake. And top soil, middle soil, and gravel, I utilized it in a different manner. Like top soil, I utilized it for afforestation, which is a rich nutrient. Then clay and gravel, I utilized it for creating bunds and islands. And bottom fully gravel, I used it for top layer of the walking dragging track. And if you see entire lake, I completed June 5th on World Environment Day with the help of Setris Environmental Trust, and 1,800 employees came from various places of the Bangalore. 5,600 saplings we planted in just 1 hour 45 minutes. So that was the record. And also we used all native fruits, medicinal plants, flowerings, and all these plants we planted. And till August 15th, I could able to clear about 12 acres of encroachment, which is 1 crore to 1.5 crore rupees value. Today, of course, it is reached about more than 3 crores. And property value is gone up because of this lake restored water and this beautification, everything, like it has become ecological hotspot, and all the prices are gone up there. Okay. So once I cleared the encroachment, August 15th, I declared and I utilized about huge, like all farmers and all, and I brought kids from the various schools, and I did a flag hosting in that lake, first freedom lake of Bangalore. First freedom of the lake of Bangalore. And that day we taken a oath that in lifetime we will protect one lake. We will plant about 50 saplings and make a trees, and we will also educate people not to encroach, not to dump, and not to spoil the lakes. And also all those things we took a oath that day. And September first week, now it is connected to spirituality. See, I did a aim. I used all engineering, scientific, technical skills, common sense, knowledge, everything up to there. And without seeing the result, without worrying about crisis, I planted the trees also. There was no single drop of water in the lake. Then I planted about 18,000 saplings, including Miyawaki forest, everything. Then now time come to worry. Like August 15th onwards, up to September, there was no single drop of water. We could able to arrange water very badly with so many people. Then I was just praying the God that I did my job. So now time is yours. See, one is I put a lot of effort, created a capacity, dug up Raj Nallas kilometers together. Like lot of sources, people just they closed it. We opened up all the Raj Nallas. Everything is done. Now only I'm waiting for rain. You will not believe, September first week, by 11th September to 22nd, highest rainfall is happened in Bangalore. Like 1,375 millimeters rainfall is happened. Within 9 days of time, my lake is got filled up fully 85%. And everywhere in Bangalore, people were struggling with flooding, giving the food packets, all those things and all. With villagers, about 1,000 people, I am rocking and dancing in my lake. That my effort did not go wrong. My happiness is that this was the lake. This was the lake where I walked every feet of the lake. Everywhere I roamed, and I trained people, motivated people, brought villagers into confidence, cleared the encroachment. It is a big subject. See, it is too short time to describe how I cleared the encroachment, how I went to 450 houses, how I won their heart, how much I struggle for getting the approvals from the government, because I'm a new guy. They did not have a faith. Lakes, you cannot give it to anyone. See, you don't know what happens if unscientific lakes can take a life of surrounding villages. They were also having worry. How I convinced them, how I convinced my corporates, how I brought funds of 1 crore. And even in fact, management were very much worried. See, 1 crore, everybody is doing 15 crores, governments and all. You want to do in 1 crore, 36 acres, it's not possible. Then I took a lot of statistics data to convince them. And they're telling you are being an employee, you can't sit 6 months or 1 year in the lake. And I convinced them for 50 days how I can do it. Like they says, you do the lake and go off later, who will take care of that? Then I created a community engagement, and then a sustainability, how it will going to work, how I created a group of people. All those things is a big story, which it is a too short of time. This is why I'm going little faster. So this is how I succeeded. The moment lake filled up, my happiness is that my efforts, nature is watching, and I got. Anybody can create a structure by spending money, but nobody can fill up the lake, because fill up treated water and all. Nowadays people are bringing and they are filling it up. That water is different. What I have in my lake is water is different. That is better than your home, better than your tap water I have. It is very rare. And also all these trees, saplings I planted today, they are all grown about 20 to 30 feet height, and they're all rocking, and half inch to 3 feet, like a 5-6 kg fishes available. And surrounding all the villages, I have got a control fishing, no more commercial fishing with a net. Not allowed, only with threads, how much ever you will find a lot of people surrounding, sitting there and catching the fishes, and the best quality water, right? So complete ecology and biodiversity is built in the last 4 to 5 years, which 2 eyes are not enough. So much. And all about 180 borewells has been recharged. People started growing vegetables, flowers, like fruits and other thing. And after having their borewell, half-inch water, they were doing like auto driver job, construction workers, something factory they were going. Now they have 2-3 inch water. They started growing fresh agriculture. So one lake rejuvenation, what I thought is to fill up the aquifers, but tangible, intangible benefits you can't count. Like 66 variety of birds came. Like some of the students came and did a bird survey. They said 66 photographs they given me in 5 days. And 4 variety of kingfishers we have. So means it is completely what we put our effort is 10%, another 90% nature restored its own. That is why I always tell, don't do anything new. So there is a one link running around, just evolving around, and missing links you have to identify. Just put back those links, then it will revolve without you also, without any interference of humans. So that is what I started working on. Like already ecosystem is there, missing links, I put it back, then they are started revolving. So that is why zero maintenance, cost of my lakes every month, no maintenance, and no operators, no fertilizer, no urea, no DAP, nothing. And if you see my entire lake, like I planted Vadalia plants, which 9 months they will have full of flowers, right? And a lot of bees, butterflies comes to catch them, birds comes, and these bees, they increase the pollination. They by default about 10 to 15% of farmers, yield is increased. So like that, it is happened, and then I thought of enough. So lifetime experience it is. Let me, take care of one lake and just keep quiet. But people did not, just leave me. They said that you have done a good job, and a lot of effects is, happening, and results are coming. And why don't you continue? Then I said, who will give me crores together money, time, and other thing? But again, nature, again, God, one by one, 13 lakes I could able to rejuvenate now. About 10.5 to 11 crores people dumped on like kind of village by, and latched together liters of water holding capacity I created. About 203 acres, 13 lakes, and about 15 lakh cubic meter of water holding capacity. Everything is created magical. People came, they supported. I did with crowdfunding, I did with students. I am in fact working with now government of Karnataka. So like that, one by one, all the projects came, and I did not do any copy paste. All the lakes are tailor made. Each lake, if you see next, I'm going to show my presentation. It cannot be copy paste. It cannot be same. All are different based on geographical condition, soil condition, catchments, surrounding, like a livelihood. Based on that, lakes are designed. And I don't want to create just lake. I want to create a benchmark of the lake so that next generation easily they can just take away one lake and start working on it. That is the idea. Not only I'm rejuvenating lakes, I am also spending my lot of time on creating certain literatures and educating people, talking about ecology and biodiversity, like sustainable way of engaging community, understanding villager psychology, and tackling them like authorities, how you should behave. Lot many things also going on. Whole idea is by 2030, 2025, I'm planning to rejuvenate 45 lakes, but now I'm doubling it because these huge support coming from people, corporates, and a lot many, nature lovers. I can do double the lake, and not only Bangalore. I'm focusing on entire country now. So each state, I have people who is in touch with me. They are in the social media, emails. They are in touch with me, and I am trying to create more and more warriors like me, so that more people can do more job. As sir said, one man less job, more people more job, right? So this country itself having a lakhs together lakes, which I can do thousands, not enough. So I wanted to have lakhs together people like me, like sir, like everybody like you, so that we can change our planet. We can bring back our planet. We will not be just consumer of this planet. We will also give it back whatever we consumed and go, not for next generation, for our generation itself. By 2025, we will not have water. So this is how journey is started. Now I'll quickly show you my little bit of the work, how I did these jobs. Yeah. Okay, now you can able to see the screen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you see, I am focusing on 3 type of lakes. Slideshow. I think something wrong with network. I think.
Just go to bottom at the slideshow if you can.
Yeah.
Next one. Yeah. Bottom slideshow. That will be good.
Sorry.
But otherwise, it's okay.
Yeah.
We can see.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I'm basically working on like urban lakes, which highest encroached. You can't clear the encroachment easily. Reason is most of them they built expensive buildings and all, and it is very tough. And second, highly contaminated urban lakes. Most of them, 99% of the lakes are full of sewage with a eutrophication level. Then here I'm working with purification with a natural biological sewage treatment. Like I use boulder, jelly, sand, coal, aquatic plants, and see that without electricity, without chemical or anything, naturally how I can purify the water and put it back, and how naturally they aerate, how naturally aerobic condition will develop. All those things I'm working. And semi-urban lakes partially encroached. And where I'm working now, periphery of the Bangalore, which I've done about 13 lakes, which these are all no buildings, but farmers encroached. They were enjoying last 40 years. Then I am talking to them. I am giving them this lake. Like for example, I given case studies of Calisnary Lake. See, earlier it was about 75 lakhs. Now it has become 3 crore. I told them 3.5 acres you have. Half acre you don't have paper. You encroached it. 3 acres it is yours. Right? This half acre one other day it will go. If you give it to me today, and this same 3 acres will become a 9 acres value. That is one benefit. And without bore water, without anything, you can't do anything. So that 3 acres also dead it is. There is no use of it. And also I told them future of kids, like 23 variety of fruits I planted everywhere, where your next generation can enjoy that. Fishes, they can enjoy everything. So by like that, I am giving you something, you sacrifice something. This model I'm working. There is no caste, there is no color, there is no poor or rich, there is no politics or anything. It is complete human to human interaction, that you are poor or rich, politician or big or small, everybody should support me and clear the encroachment. That way I am clearing the encroachment. In fact, I am getting a big support nowadays, because after doing these 10 lakes, then people stopped questioning me. They started they said, okay, sir, half acre I encroached. This is what my land. You leave this and you take away this. And what you will going to do, sir? Sir, I want to plant a trees there. I want to create a forest there. So I have a 4 type of forest, which it will come to next level. And increasing water holding capacity is major job I am doing in semi-urban lakes. See, I am trying to do full of desilting properly and creating bunt. And all the most of the canals and all everything are closed by the farmer greediness. I educated them, opened up so that water will come. So increasing the water. And rural lakes I am doing partially encroached there. Most of the lakes are not encroached because there is no much value or anything. Little bit encroachment is there. And some of the bigger man like villagers and all, they encroached and we are clearing them. And they are equally contaminated. Village lakes are not good condition because of urea, like all fertilizer, pesticides and all. Then they also nowadays connected most of the drainages into lakes only because of this Suvarnagram they call, and they put a concrete everywhere in the village and there is no percolation. Entire cloth washing, all utensils, everything is coming to this lake only. They are also contaminated, and there also I'm increasing the water holding capacity. If you see my lake design, 60% of the water holding capacity is there. I am not reduced. I am increasing 3 to 4 times water holding capacity, as well as whatever 40% around the lake, which I desilt and utilize that soil and create a forest around, which is an encroachment cleared land. So that there will be 60% water body, 40% native forest, so that it can sustain. And if you see my soil, like how I desilt is, there will be about 1.2 meter of rich nutrient soil, which I remove that top layer and utilize it for afforestation so that no fertilizers used in my forests. And second is gravel and clay is there. Through that, I'm making islands for the birds and also creating a bunts around the lake so that these bunts act as a non-encroachable barrier. Like even daily people are walking around, jogging around. There are a lot of trekking clubs, so cyclers, everybody is there. And if they encroach, they have to ditch this ring bund. So that is why they can't encroach. See, we are here from maybe 100 years. Lakhs together years, lakes are there. They will going to be here lakhs together years. And if you put some stone fencing, metal fencing, they have got self-life. They may get damaged. They may get rusted and go off. Again, people can, encroach the lake. But if you create a fully different elevation of the bunds, they can't encroach it, because if you remove that mud and try to come in, then that walking track will be disturbed. Then people will come to attention. They only fight. So this way, and my all the fencings are full trees I planted, and bamboos I planted, bougainvillea I planted, so that they work as a natural fencing. So these things, spending by crores together money, metal and all, they lose their life and they go west. But these trees grow, they will also give you oxygen, they will sink the carbon, they will also give fruits and this thing, and they're the best place for the nesting also. So this is how I started bringing cost down and doing it in a sustainable way. And also, if you see my lake design, you see most of the main bunds, about 15 feet center, 5 feet, 5 feet, medium canopy trees I plant, so that for wind and all, they should not damage the main bunds, right? Then second, whatever stones available in the lake, whatever I get, I do pitching this way. And also, one more step I create for safety purpose, so that bunds should not breach in any point of time, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years, we don't know. And now it is village, maybe it will be in a center city. And today we kill people, after 100 years we kill people, does not matter. If we have a wrong design, like a weaker bunds, it may breach and it can take a life in one night only. That is why we take care of more safety on bunds. Like here we plant bushy trees, so that, and also any kids or anybody walking here, jogging here, kids should not directly get into the water, and they should not be damaged for the life. So this is how bushes we create. And here in the slope, it will not be 1:2. It will be natural gradual slope I create, which I plant a vetiver grass, so that it will be fodder for the surrounding cows and cattle, and it can increase dairy farm. It can sink highest carbon. It can produce highest oxygen. and it can control the soil erosion. Instead of stone pitching and blasting some ecology and bringing here by burning fossil fuels and increasing the carbon footprint, I use natural material so that here zero maintenance. And also if water rises also, these grasses can purify the water. They can consume the NPK. So this is how I designed the lake. And if you see, this is one of the lake which I did in Corona time. Corona time, the entire world stopped, but I did not stop. I rejuvenated 3 lakes. I started January 26th, 27th, one of the lakes called Harosiddapura. By the time March 24th, lockdown, I did only 1/4 of the work, but it stopped. But somebody is pumping money on our resources, like one of the institute. If I do half cook, half boil lake, in monsoon, suddenly the water come, next 5 years, you can't touch that lake. So that is why I took a permission. I spoken with local authority, local villagers. I took all the precautions like sanitizer, how to maintain social. In February 1 lake and June 1 lake, total 3 lakes without any disturbance. I completed these lakes. And if you see, this is Lake Nanjapura. It won. It is sponsored by Intel Corporation USA. They given me 1.5 crore. This 18-acre lake entirely we rejuvenated. This lake won Brave Blue Global Brave Blue Lighthouse Award. It won, and Intel, in fact, they tweeted it. And if you see in this lake simplicity, see this is the main inlet. Here we have created a 3 compartment with aquatic plants and other thing. First compartment, all the biomass will be trapped, like leaves, trunks, branches and all, plastic, thermocol, pet bottles. Then silt will be trapped here. Then overflows to next one. Again, further silt will be trapped. Then third, water will get cultured. Then it enter into the lake. You will not find any inlets from anywhere. And tomorrow, it entire lake surrounding is become city. Water will come to this point. You can fix a natural sewage treatment here and then treat, and you can put it inside. See, like more joints, more problem. So less joints, less less inlets, less issues. This is how I did this lake. And if you see, I am working this way, like entire Bengaluru city. I have chosen a zone 1, which is a South Bangalore, which is attached to forest area, which is national park is there. So that if I change this 11 streams, 45 lakes, it will naturally merge with this. So this is the theme I am working. And if you see, I'm not working 1 lake there, 1 lake here. I'm working on a stream-based lakes. First lake I did a Kalasnalli. Second I did a Wabasandra. Third I did a Gavi. And fourth I am doing Bandenal Chandra. So that this entire stream flows to one bigger lake called Hennagara Lake here. So instead of this 450 acres lake, if you want to rejuvenate, you need about hundreds of crores, years together time. I don't think it is sustainable also, because your inflow is bad. Automatically this lake will not go to sustain. So that is why with a small budget, tiny time, I am trying to rejuvenate 11 streams, 45 lakes, so that 450 acres of this lake will be saved by default. That is my aim and the theme I am working. Now successfully I completed 3 streams now. First stream and second stream, Hulimangla, Nanjapura, Jigni. Like that, 3 streams I completed. Another 9 streams I am yet to complete, and I am continuously working on it. And if you see, my general design is this Nanjapura lake I showed you. This was a flat cricket playground last 40 years. There was no single drop water. And these all the inlets you can see, most of them are closed. There was no water flowing inside. There is no sewage also. There is no rainwater also. Dead lake it is. People were playing the cricket in this. So I opened up all these Rajnalas, and I did a survey. There were about 4 to 5 acres of encroachment in this, which we cleared it. And my designs will be simple, like any layman can understand. No AutoCAD, no 3D modeling or anything. Simple design where one earthmover operator, one helper can understand. See, for example, first inlet, I created a filtration system all around forest. Then in one point only water will come. Then there is an outlet. And this lake were like this before. And then we started desilting. Then we started creating like for example, in south, north, everywhere, like there is idle immersion, and a lot many Durga, Ganesha, and all. I created, see, place for everything, everything in its place. When you create a place for certain things, then you can insist them on to use that. When you don't have any designated place, and they will throw everywhere. That is why I created this Kalyani, and so that all the idol should be immersed there, which yearly I clean it. And also they work as a silk trap for me. So water will come to this Kalyani. First they rise slowly, then they flow into lake, so that this part I can every 5 years I can clean the silt and all, which is very good for farmers. And if you see this entire lake, most of them are with the grasses and all. You will find a lot of birds, and about 700 cows I created a fodder, because in a playground without water, people were doing a grazing. They were a huge fodder for the like surrounding villagers. But end of the day, when I filled up 90% of the water, then they will not have a fodder. So when they don't have fodder, then again this dairy farming will fall down. That is why in all the bunds, about 4 acres of fodder I planted, which can also stop the soil erosion. And a lot of tiny birds are coming and nesting. A lot of things are happening. And also farmers, they cut this grass and they feed to cows, so that balance I created. And also if you see, this lake is filled up in just 10 to 15 days time. And this is my first lake, Kalsnali, which 36 acre in 2017, which I was telling about story. Here you see, these are all the islands. Where convex is there, I created islands. Where concave is there, I dug up and created more capacity. By this, I reduced my logistic time, cutting time, my equipment efficiency, everything. So wherever convex, I created island. Wherever concave is there, and without reducing water holding capacity. 460,000 cubic meter water holding capacity is available here. And if you see this entire 2.7 kilometer of bunds I created, which people can't encroach. The moment they want to encroach, they want to cut this walking track. The moment they cut, and the issue can be raised. Within 24 hours, people will come to police station and give a complaint that this walkway has been cut. So no need of fencing. That is what I believe. No need of fencing. Fencing can be removed and they can be doing all nuisance. So, but this can't. And also there are a lot of trees I planted along the bund, so that if you cut the trees, then you can give a complaint to forest department. They will immediately take action because there is a witness. So this kind of legal linkage also I created. And also if you see these islands, each island, I planted certain plants like Singapore cherry, small. And these are all I studied about birds, food habits and other. Bird need a safe place to nest, water, then fishes around, then fruits around, flowers around to catch the flies. So all those available in each island, like, and bigger birds also, they want to protect from bigger birds poaching their eggs and small puppies and other thing. So for that I covered canopy. If you go in this particular island, you will find only tiny birds. And the mahogany and all bigger plants wherever planted, there you will find a lot of goosenecks and other birds are sitting. So like that, each bird habit we seen, and based on that we planted these trees. And here you can see traditional forest which our farmers plant, like 15 feet distance. This is a Miyawaki forest. This is a grassland. This is a wetland. I planted about 1.5 acre to 2 acre of lotus, which purify the water, reduce the water evaporation. It also give a traditional and spiritual look to the lake, which those lotus, and also increase bringing the lot of pollinators. It's a very good food for the fishes also. And also it is catering about 5 to 6 families' life. Daily they pluck about 50-100 flowers. They sell it for 30-40 rupees and they live on it. And where I planted, you see, this is the main bund where a lot of employees go to industrial area and offices and all. In the Honda Activa, earlier they used to bring covers, food waste and all, then they used to dump inside. Okay. Now I did not put any fencing here. The moment they dump 6 to 9 o'clock, these people will catch them and beat, because they are damaging their lotus, they are damaging their flowers, they don't get value. So this is how I interlinked it. Right? So the moment somebody throws the cover, there will be people who is plucking flower, they will come and catch him. Then they will ask him, why did you throw here? See, my flower is damaged. I used to sell it for 40 rupees. Now it will not go for 10 rupees. So this how I engage the community. And see, any community wants to engage, they should have some benefit out of it. That right? They are getting flower coming here. There are a lot of fishermen, they sit here and catch the fish. And there are a lot of ladies come, and there is a specific area for washing the cloth. And there, whatever, you can see sulfur and all contents increase now. For consuming them also, we have aquatic plants. This way, we have completely engaged the community. And if you see, this lake looks like this. These are all the lotus, and these are all the community to wash the cloth. And see, crystal clear water, Miyawaki forest, grassland, and this looks like this. And if you see, lot of birds, like all the trees, like in 3 years, 4 years time, they started giving a flower. You can see sitapal, like there are a lot of fruits. And I planted a lot of Wadelia to control the erosion. And Wadelia is the best plant to hold soil erosion, and zero maintenance. No weed will going to grow except grass. And 9 months it will have a flower. Lot of butterflies, kingfisher. You can see this is what this lake is converted now. And this is my second lake called Vabsandra. This is above Kalasnali. This lake overflows to Kalasnali. Right? If you see here, there is a natural filtration system which silt will be trapped. Then there is a 8 feet area of water. Then there is a 16 feet area water. Then there is a 32 feet area. There is a natural wetland. See, one rain falls. First, it will get filled up. Then 5 rains, this will get filled up. Then 10 rains, this will get filled up. Then the entire 15, 16 rains, then the entire wetland will be, locked. So why I created this? Say suddenly only 2-3 rains came. This entire 9 acres lake, it got spread. It will be about ½ inch or 1 inch water, which evaporate and percolate fast, and it will be dry lake. I don't want that situation. My lake always should have a pocket of waters, right? Small rain, big rain. There should be water for cows, cattle, birds, so all those things. And also, if you see 8 feet, 16 feet, 32 feet, sunlight reachability is different. Different depth, there will be less sunlight. And there is a different aquatic life, different, like a flora and fauna is developed inside. So scientifically also it is there. Then when full lake is, then wetland also is there. And if you see one more bund you can see in this lake, which sewage water is entering from here. And I have created about 450 feet of length. With mud only, I have created a bund between natural rainwater lake and sewage lake. By that time, this passed through these aquatic plants, and water is becoming crystal clear. No electricity, no chemical, nothing at all. Naturally, this entire water is getting purified and joining into 32 feet deeper area. So that again, there is a huge aquatic life. They want more food and they consume all these things. So this is how second lake is designed. And if you see that lake full of forest, full of water, like never gone dry. And you can see this Miyawaki forest, everything. And this is my third lake, Konsandra. It was a deadly poisonous lake we were calling, because of a lot of industrial effluents were entering in various places. Here what I did is I brought all the effluents in one place. I created a separate bund for that. I created boulder, jelly, sand, aquatic plants. They naturally get filtered here. And this is a filtration area. And 80% of the lake area, which there is no sewage at all. It is a best water catchment area, which I separated it. So that 100 liter milk is piling because of 2 liter. And it has become 1 or 2 liter of contaminated. I just created 100 liter separate, 2 liter separate. So this way, simple technique we used. When lake is fully dry, rainwater is not there, then this way we started working. Okay. Then this is my 4th lake, Gavi. This is my 5th lake. This is done for wildlife, animal drinking water. And it looks like this. This is my one of the lake, Nanjapura, I told you, 6th. And it looks like this. Then this is my 7th lake. Here I created natural biological sewage treatment, and rainwater separate, sewage is different. This is one of the 47 acres lake, which I did in a Corona time. And this is just now I completed Devasandra, 33 acres of lakes. And now in pipeline, Bingipura, 28 acres, Sadaldi, 110 acres lake. I am rejuvenating this year. Total, if you see statistics, 2016, I did 0. Only I studied. 17, I did 1 lake. 18, I did 1 lake. 19, I did 2 lakes. 20, I did 4 lakes. Now already one is completed, another 3, 4 in pipeline. So these are all the lakes I rejuvenated as of now, and planning to rejuvenate about 45 to 90 lakes by 2025. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anand. Very nice, and I think it requires a lot of applause for you. You have done a very good work.
Thank you.
Probably we people sitting in the offices or places, we just design the system, but you have really implemented a work, and you have again proven a point that in nature nothing is waste, and we have to work with nature.
Correct.
The moment we work with nature, nature has not created anything for waste.
Correct.
And though as of now you have generated 13 lakes, which is going to 40 to something more, but India has more than 600,000 water bodies, and all the water bodies requires your assistance, and so is the potential exists in complete Asian nations, you know. So you have taught audiences on the various types of lakes and various type of methods you use for rural, urban, semi-urban. You also talked about the people that you are trying to solve the jigsaw puzzles, you know, finding the missing link so that you complete the complete arterial and venous system. Like lake is a heart, and you complete the arterial system so that the complete body flows, complete city works and regenerates. So it, and I again say very clearly that you cannot have a zero water day in any part of India. So doctors also say to the patient that you've got 100% blockage, but the patient survives. So that same thing holds good for water. So water will always find a natural way to travel. So we'll never have a zero water day in India.
Definitely.
And I think we will work towards it. It's a good mission you've taken over. And let us see how we can provide benefit to the people. And with this, probably you also introduce the concept of sustainability management, how you can do multiple cropping, how you can benefit the people, society. So very nice and enlightening session. And I think with this, I would like to once again thank you. And
thank you so much.
Thank the ICSI bringing you in on this platform. So we'll be in touch offline, online. We'll see how we can talk again and see how we can continue this journey. So with this, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to bring an end to today's webinar, and we'll see you next Saturday, same time, same place, with another professional speaker to talk and enlighten us on water journey. Thank you, Anand. And
thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
I'll request Ita to switch off, and we'll leave the session, close the session. Thanks.
So thank you both of you, and thank you, sir, for sharing your efforts with us. And I'm just speechless after listening to your hard work and your vision. And every session is inspiring for us. And with this, we are also looking forward for next week with the next session. And with that, we once again